Hi everyone. I wanted to make a quick video today because of the current coronavirus pandemic. Um, I am a programmer. I'm also an asthmatic, so this is kind of a topic that's quite important to me. I believe that I fall within a high-risk group if I was to contract coronavirus. So I wanted to make a video about the precautions that or the action that an asthmatic software developer could take to avoid catching coronavirus. So as things stand in the UK, we've been given some advice by the Prime Minister and some health advisors. Their take on this pandemic, controlling it anyway in the UK, seems to be that they want 60% of the population to contract coronavirus in order to kind of level out the curve of people contracting it over time. And they make statements such as herd immunity and all that kind of stuff. I'm not particularly satisfied with the conclusion they've come to, for the main reason that they seem to lump people into two groups. There's the well and not old people, sort of the working population who are supposedly well, should go on and be normal for the time being, and then they have old people, and they say people who are old and have chronic conditions. They kind of got these two categories, and I feel like there's not enough nuance in that plan. For the obvious reason, from my point of view, that I'm of working age. I'm 28. I can go to work. I go to work every day on weekdays. I'm well and able when my asthma isn't giving me any trouble, which is pretty much all the time, thankfully. Obviously I have the other problem, but it doesn't stop us from going to work. But when there's a virus pandemic that, when it affects people with compromised immune systems from conditions, say, such as asthma, I've got to be a little bit concerned because, it's going to be a lot harder for me to fight the condition if I was to have it. I'm healthy at the moment. I feel fine. But I am taking the extra precaution of trying to stay indoors as much as I can, and trying not to have too much contact with people, just for the sake of, reducing the chances of contracting coronavirus. So yeah, I feel like the government advice is a little bit lacking at the moment, and this turns me to my main point, which is that, as a software developer, obviously, our job, we're not tied to one location necessarily. I work on a laptop, even when I'm at the office, and our company's gone through some trials of remote working last week. I'm sure many other companies have done the same thing. And we haven't fully committed to everyone going off remote. But I feel like it's important to say, when you have a chronic condition such as asthma, a respiratory condition, let's say, it could be something like COPD, asthma, cystic fibrosis, something like that, and you're in a profession where you can work remotely, I feel like we kind of have to be our own lobby almost, people with these conditions, because companies quite sensibly are not rushing to send everybody off remotely, like at the drop of a hat, which I totally understand. I totally get it. Until there's more of an action to say everybody must contain themselves, and then, to prevent the spread of the virus. I get why companies are waiting for government advice, but we're kind of an exception, because we're gonna, if we get this virus, it's very likely to debilitate us, and we could end up in hospital or worse. And at the minute, like I said, the government advice is not covering people who are healthy in normal circumstances but have chronic conditions, and that needs to be addressed. I don't understand why that hasn't been mentioned. So all I'm saying really is that if you're in that position where you work in tech, and the only reason why I limit it to tech is that I'm in that profession. you know. But if you're in that position where you can work from home, you know, you VPN'd up, you have a laptop, you can do everything that you could do in the office. I'm just saying, be your own lobby. Very politely talk to your HR department and just request whether maybe you can work remotely. I think it's a sensible thing to do. I will certainly be doing that. I've already, taken some steps towards that for various meetings and such, where there was going to be some more close quarter meetings, and the HR were very receptive to that. So that's all I'm saying. If you're a software developer and you can work remotely and you have a chronic condition that could be severely affected by coronavirus, I would just say very calmly, just find out where you stand. And that's just all I want to say. So, like I said, to reiterate, I'm perfectly fine right now, and I'm staying indoors. And obviously, if I need to go and get supplies and stuff, I'll be going out when it's quiet. And obviously, most importantly, as everyone's been saying, wash your hands thoroughly. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for people like me who are kind of buggered if we get coronavirus. Just remember that. Yeah, and everybody else, the elderly, people with chronic conditions, we're relying on you to wash your hands thoroughly. Great. Thanks very much.